This is how I'm planning to organize them so they make a nice medium-sized bag. So I'm thinking of making just one strap, not two. And this is how much yarn I have left. It's gonna be quite a game here of yarn chicken will be playing. But I will use needle to sew them together because I don't have any more yarn to crochet them together. So this will be my needle, my tapestry needle, and I will connect them. So here's how I'll connect my pieces for my bag. I'll make a slip knot here so I can easily tighten it, and I will grab my both of my granny squares. I'll line them up in at the corners, and then I'll use the back side. I'll flip to the back side so my knot stays in the back. So I'll grab that middle stitch that's here in the corner, and I will go in that space between the two little V stitches, or those little hearts here. So I will be grabbing those. But to begin my stitching, I'll grab the back loop of this corner and the back loop of this corner. I'll pull through them, and I'll go through my slip knot that I did at the beginning, and this way I'll be able to tighten it. So there. Now my knot is really strong here, and I'll be able to either carry it in between stitches like this, or I can weave it in later. But let's see. So I'll grab from any side, it does not matter, that little space between the stitches, and that tapestry needle helps a lot because it shows me immediately how to scoop. So let's scoop the next space between the stitches, and then I'll get the next one. So I'll be going one spot from the top granny square and one space from the bottom granny square, and I will alternate both sides. So that's how we will be able to connect the pieces. Since I'm running low on that yarn, I'll have it just enough to sew them, not to have like those granny clusters done, or I'm not really sure I'll have enough for chain stitch even. That's how little I got, that's how much I have left, and in case I run out of it, I still want to have a tiny bit for the strap, at least to put it as a little accent color there, even if I don't use all of it for the strap, because that's gonna be enough. So let's see how it's going in the front. So there it is, and I'll go ahead and I'll connect all the pieces for the back, and I'll be back so we can do the strap together. So before I attach my strap, I would like to go around my purse and do a finishing touch here at the top, and that will be tiny shells. So let's start with that. I'll do my little slip knot at the beginning, and it's the same way I add any color. And actually I'll take a thinner crochet hook. This will go, it will have such a hard time going into those tiny stitches here. So I'm starting from the side of my purse into that middle of the flower, and I will do a slip stitch here. There it is. I'll tighten and secure my beginning. I actually will go under the first, those yellow centers, because it looks like it stretched my stitch too much. And since I'm gonna have a strap here, I want to make it really secure, so I'll go one more stitch under that first chain, and I'll chain now. I'll chain 3. So into that spot again, I'll make 1 double crochet. And since I'm very low on yarn and I want to go all around the bag, I will actually do 1 double crochet and a chain for each shell. However, I think two double crochets will look also very nice. So you can try with 2. All right, so into that next white petal, I'll go again and I'll make a slip stitch here. And I'll make my next shell. Chain 2 into the same spot, 1 double crochet. And then into the next place with a slip stitch, chain 2, into the same space we'll do 1 double crochet, and then into that middle here we'll do a slip stitch, chain 2, into the same stitch we'll go 1 double crochet. And now I want to close that little gap over here, so I will go over it and pick from the front loop. I'll pick that front loop, so I'll make it secure here, and I'll pick a little bit from the side as well, so it kind of closes my hole here, so I don't have a hole. Okay, and chain 2, and into that same stitch where I got my first chain, I'll put my double crochet, and then I will go into that tip of the flower because I want to close that gap over here. And this you're gonna have to adjust however you feel, but without bunching the sides too much. Okay, and chain 2, and then we'll go into that flower here, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and I'll go into the middle, slip stitch, chain 2, and in the same middle I'll put my double crochet, and then into the tip of this yellow color again, and there, and I'll try to follow that pattern. Like I have 2 shells on top of the yellow, 1 shell on top of the white, and 2 into the blue part. So I'll go all around and I'll meet you here at the beginning, and then we'll just sew our strap there. So here is the bag and the strap for it. Now comes the part to weave in all the ends in. And let's measure it. So it is about 12 inches wide and about 8.5 inches tall. The strap is, we measured it 26 at the beginning, but it should be a little bit smaller now that it shrunk a bit. So 12 inches up to here and another, I'm looking at centimeters, and another 11 inches. So it did shrink a bit because of the stitches, but it's still long enough to be comfortable around my shoulder. So measure it for your shoulder. That's why I didn't give a specific number of stitches here, because the measurement is more important. It also depends on your yarn. If you use thinner yarn, you'll have more stitches. If you have thicker yarn, you'll have less stitches. And that's all for this bag. Oh, we can put a lining in it, or not, because the stitches are there are not many holes around the stitches, and it can hold quite a lot. Let's see, I have a water bottle here and a hand cream, okay, and some candy. So yeah, it takes a good, and my phone can fit, and the wallet for sure, if it's the size of a phone, so it can fit quite a lot, and even there's some space maybe for a small book. All right, well, make sure you like this video and enjoy the rest of your day. Happy crocheting, and I'll catch you in the next one.